The alien outpost stood on a red plain under a dark sky. Tall towers of metal and stone surrounded a deep pit at the center of the base. Inside that pit lived the dragon. It was ancient, huge, and feared by every species in the sector. Its body was said to be stronger than armor. Its eyes were said to burn with starfire. No one alive had ever fought it and won. For many cycles, the outpost survived only because the dragon allowed it. When the dragon grew restless, the ground shook. Energy systems failed. Ships refused to land. The elders said the dragon was a guardian from an older age, bound to the place by ancient rules. If it was angered, the outpost would fall. So the aliens followed the rule that kept them alive. An offering. In the past, the offering was simple. Food. Energy crystals. Machines. But this time none of it worked. The dragon rejected everything. Its roars cracked the ground. Its presence made the air heavy and painful to breathe. The elders gathered in fear. It wants something living, one said. But not one of us, another replied quickly. Silence followed. Then all eyes turned to the small group of humans who lived on the edge of the outpost. They were workers, traders, and travelers. Few in number. Easy to blame. Easy to sacrifice. Humans were seen as weak. Too small. Too soft. Too emotional. The elders believed losing one human would save thousands of lives. So they chose a child. The human child was young. Small. Quiet. He had been separated from his family during the night. He did not understand the words spoken around him, but he understood fear. Strange beings surrounded him. Their voices were sharp. Their faces unreadable. He did not cry. He held a small cloth toy close to his chest and looked around with wide eyes. The procession moved slowly toward the pit. Guards formed a line, keeping distance from the center. No one wanted to be close when the dragon sensed the offering. The ground vibrated as they approached. Heat rolled upward from below. A deep breath echoed from the pit, slow and heavy, like the world itself was breathing. One guard hesitated. This feels wrong. We have no choice, an elder replied. If the dragon destroys the outpost, no one survives. The child was placed on a narrow platform that extended over the pit. Chains rattled as the platform moved forward. The child looked down and saw darkness, then a faint glow like embers far below. The dragon stirred. Its eyes opened. They were massive, bright, focused. Every alien stepped back. Some bowed their heads. Others turned away, unable to watch. The platform stopped. The child stood alone. For a long moment nothing happened. No roar. No fire. No sudden movement. Only silence. The child shifted his weight. The metal under his feet was warm. He hugged his toy tighter. His small voice echoed into the pit. Hello. The sound was soft. Weak. But it carried. The dragon's head rose slowly from the darkness. Its scales reflected the glow from below. Its eyes locked onto the child. Observers held their breath. This was the moment they expected screams. But the child did not run. He took a small step forward. Then another. He peered down, trying to see the creature clearly. You're big, he said quietly. The dragon froze. It had crushed armies. It had burned cities. But no one had ever spoken to it like this. The child sat down on the warm metal and swung his legs. He felt afraid but also curious. The fear was there, but it did not control him. My name is Eli, he said, like he was introducing himself to a stranger. The dragon lowered its head slightly. The elders watching from a distance did not understand what they were seeing. The dragon was not attacking. It was not roaring. It was watching. Listening. Eli looked at the dragon's eyes. They were bright but not angry. There was something else there. Something old. Something tired. Are you lonely? The child asked. The dragon released a deep, slow breath. The heat softened. The air became calm. The ground stopped shaking. Alarms across the outpost went silent. The elders stared at their instruments in shock. Energy levels stabilized. Structural stress dropped. One whispered, the dragon has accepted the offering. But something felt different. Inside the pit, the dragon slowly curled its massive body around the platform, not touching it but shielding it. Its wings folded, blocking the heat. Its head rested near the child, careful not to harm him. Eli did not scream. He leaned back and rested against one of the dragon's scales. It was warm, like sitting near a fire on a cold night. The dragon closed one eye. The child yawned. Above, fear turned into confusion. Confusion turned into disbelief. They had fed a human child to a fierce alien dragon. And instead of death they saw peace. Something ancient had changed. Something no one expected had begun. Morning came slowly to the outpost, but no one slept. Every screen, every sensor, every pair of eyes stayed fixed on the pit. The dragon had not moved through the night. The child was still alive. That alone felt impossible. Elders whispered in low voices. Guards stood tense, ready to run at the first sign of danger. Engineers watched power levels that, for the first time in many cycles, remained steady. The outpost felt calm. Too calm. Inside the pit, the air was warm and quiet. Eli slept on the metal platform, curled around his small cloth toy. The dragon's massive body formed a loose circle around him. Its breathing was slow and deep, like the steady sound of waves. When Eli woke, he did not scream. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, and sat up. The first thing he saw was a huge golden eye watching him. "Oh," he said softly. "You're still here." The dragon did not move. It blinked once. Eli stretched and stood. His feet were bare, but the metal felt warm, not painful. He looked around, then back at the dragon's face. "I'm hungry," he said honestly. The dragon tilted its head. A low sound rolled from its chest, not loud, not angry. "Curious." Eli smiled a little. "Do you eat breakfast?" The dragon slowly lifted one claw and pushed something toward the platform. A pile of dark crystal shards slid forward. Eli sniffed them, frowned, and shook his head. "I don't think I can eat that." The dragon paused. Then it pulled its claw back and waited. Above, the observers leaned closer to their screens. "It offered him food," one elder whispered. "Impossible," another said. "Dragons do not share." Minutes passed. Then a supply lift moved near the pit. A brave worker had sent down a simple meal pack, meant for emergencies. The platform lowered it slowly. Eli's eyes lit up. Food. He opened the pack and sat down again. He ate slowly, carefully, like he always had. When he finished, he noticed the dragon watching him closely. "You want some?" Eli asked. He broke a piece of bread and held it out, his arm shaking slightly. The dragon did not rush forward. It leaned down slowly and sniffed the air. Then, very gently, it took the bread between two claws and tasted it. The dragon paused. Then it let out a soft rumble. Not hunger. Approval. Eli laughed. "You like it?" The sound of the child's laughter echoed through the pit. It was light. Free. It did something strange to the air itself. The dragon lowered its head closer, resting it on the edge of the platform. From that moment, everything changed. The dragon stopped radiating heat. The constant pressure that made machines fail disappeared. The outpost felt normal for the first time in many cycles. The elders were stunned. "It has calmed," one said. "Completely." "Because of the child," another replied. Hours passed. Eli talked. About simple things. About his toy. About his home. About missing his parents. He did not know the dragon's language, and the dragon did not know his, but it listened. Every sound mattered. The dragon responded in small ways. A tilt of the head. A slow blink. A gentle shift to block harsh heat or falling dust. When Eli felt tired, he sat and leaned against the dragon's scales again. They felt safe. Strong. Guards expected the dragon to change at any moment. It did not. Instead, something strange happened. When alien workers moved too close to the pit, the dragon opened one eye and watched them. Not with anger but warning. It did not want them near the child. "He is protecting it," a guard said in disbelief. "No," an elder corrected softly. "He is protecting the child." The elders began searching old records. Ancient files. Stories written in forgotten languages. They found mentions of dragons from long ago. Not as monsters but as watchers. Guardians. Beings that bonded deeply but only once. One record spoke of the small ones with warm voices. Humans. Fear spread through the council room. "What if the dragon chooses the child?" one asked. "What if it already has?" another replied. Below, Eli yawned again. He leaned against the dragon and closed his eyes. The dragon slowly curled tighter, creating a safe wall around him. Its wings folded, blocking the pit from the rest of the world. The child slept. The dragon stood guard. No one dared interrupt. The elders now faced a truth they did not expect. The offering was not consumed. It was accepted. But not as food. As something far more powerful. A bond. And as the outpost watched the calm dragon and the sleeping human child, one thought spread through every mind. They had not given the dragon a sacrifice. They had given it a reason. The outpost no longer felt like a place under threat. The air was steady. The machines worked without strain. Even the sky above the red plain seemed calmer. All of this happened while a human child slept beside an ancient dragon. Eli woke slowly, feeling warm. Not hot, not cold. Safe. He opened his eyes and saw the dragon's large head resting nearby. One glowing eye was open, watching him. "Hi," Eli said softly. The dragon blinked. Eli sat up and stretched. "Did I sleep long?" The dragon did not answer with words, but it shifted its body slightly, making more space around the platform. It was careful, gentle. Above the pit, the elders watched closely. They had not left their post since the child was sent down. Fear still lived in their hearts, but now it mixed with something new. Wonder. "The dragon has not moved from him," one elder said. "It is choosing," another replied. That word echoed through the room. Choosing. For dragons, choice was rare. Ancient records said dragons did not serve, did not obey, and did not bond easily. When they did, it was forever. Below, Eli stood and walked slowly along the platform. The dragon followed his movement with its eyes only, never reaching out, never forcing closeness. Eli stopped and looked at the dragon. "Do you live here all the time?" The dragon released a low sound. "Not angry. Not sad. Just old." Eli nodded as if he understood. "That sounds lonely." The dragon's eye dimmed slightly. The sound it made next was deeper. Heavier. Eli did something that made the watchers above gasp. He reached out and placed his small hand on the dragon's scale. The scale was warm and smooth. It did not move. "You don't have to be lonely," Eli said simply. That was when the dragon made its choice. It lowered its head all the way to the platform and rested it there, fully exposed. A sign older than words. A sign of trust. The ground trembled, not in anger but in power. Energy surged through the pit, then settled into a new pattern. Sensors across the outpost spiked, then leveled out at readings no one had ever seen before. "The dragon has linked," an engineer whispered. "With the child?" another asked. "No," the engineer said slowly. "With the station." But the dragon's eyes never left Eli. Eli smiled and sat on the dragon's head like it was a hill. "You're nice," he said. Above, panic spread. "If the dragon bonds to the child," one elder said, "then harming the child would be impossible," another finished. "And unforgivable." Guards moved into place, not to threaten the dragon, but to protect the pit. For the first time, they stood between the dragon and their own people. A small group of soldiers tried to approach the platform controls. The dragon noticed. Its body did not rise. It did not roar. It only opened its wings slightly. The pressure in the air returned for just 1 second. Every soldier froze. The message was clear. "Do not touch the child." The elders backed away. "We made a terrible mistake," one said. "Yes," another agreed. "But perhaps not a fatal one." Down below, Eli yawned. "I miss my mom," he said quietly. The dragon's head shifted. It made a sound that vibrated through the metal. The platform lights flickered, then stabilized. A nearby screen activated on its own, showing a map of the outpost. The dragon tapped the platform gently with one claw. It was pointing. Eli looked up. "You know where she is?" The dragon blinked once. Above, the elders stared at the screen in shock. "It's guiding us," one said. "It wants the child reunited." The truth settled like weight in the room. The dragon did not want an offering. It did not want worship. It wanted balance, connection, and it had found it in a human child. Orders were given quickly. Eli's parents were brought to the edge of the pit. They cried when they saw him alive. When they saw the dragon, fear froze them in place. Eli waved. "Mama, I made a friend." The dragon lifted its head slowly, carefully, and moved aside just enough to create a clear path. The message was clear again. This child belongs with his people. But the bond remains. As Eli was lifted away from the pit, the dragon watched closely. It did not resist. It did not follow. When Eli reached the top, he looked back. "Bye," he said. "Thank you." The dragon lowered its head. The outpost shook once more, not in threat but in promise. The dragon had made its choice. Not to destroy. Not to rule. But to protect. And the galaxy would never see humans or dragons the same way again. The outpost changed after that day. No alarms sounded anymore. No guards shouted orders in panic. Still, fear did not leave at once. It only changed its shape. The dragon remained in the pit, calm and silent. It did not sleep deeply. It watched. Its wings stayed folded. Its fire stayed inside. The people of the outpost kept their distance, but they watched it all the time. Eli stayed with his parents in the medical wing. He was checked again and again, but he was healthy. No burns. No marks. No strange signs. Only one thing was different. When Eli slept, the station lights near the pit glowed a little brighter. The elders noticed this. The dragon reacts to the child even from a distance, one elder said. Yes, another replied. And the station reacts too. The engineers began to study the systems. Power flow was smoother. Old damage repaired itself. Shields held stronger with less energy. The dragon was not attacking. It was helping without being asked. Fear began to weaken. A young technician was the first to step closer to the pit. His hands shook as he carried a scanner. The dragon noticed him right away. One large eye turned toward him. The technician froze. The dragon did nothing. Slowly the technician raised the scanner. The readings were impossible. The dragon's energy was stable. Calm. Almost gentle. It's not hostile, the technician said over the open channel. It's just here. That word spread fast. Just here. More people came closer. Scientists, medics, even soldiers. The dragon did not move against them. It only watched. When someone slipped and fell, the dragon shifted its body so no one was crushed. When a tool dropped into the pit, the dragon nudged it back toward the edge with one claw. Fear began to turn into confusion, then into awe. One elder finally spoke what many were thinking. We believed dragons were monsters. Yes, another said softly. But perhaps they believed the same about us. Eli asked to see the dragon again. His parents did not want to allow it. But the dragon had already sensed his wish. The lights near the pit brightened. The floor warmed slightly like a path. The elders agreed. Eli walked to the edge of the pit, holding his mother's hand. The dragon lifted its head slowly. Its eye glowed, not bright but warm. Hi again, Eli said. The dragon lowered its head so it was closer to him. Not close enough to scare. Close enough to listen. You helped everyone, Eli said. Thank you. The dragon made a deep sound that echoed through the pit. The station hummed in answer. The engineers stared at their screens. It's sinking again, one said. On purpose. Eli smiled. It likes when we talk nice. That simple sentence changed everything. The elders realized then that the dragon was not bound by force or fear. It responded to care. To respect. Orders were given. No weapons near the pit. No loud machines. No threats. In return the dragon helped more. When a supply ship failed to dock, the dragon released a small burst of controlled heat that cleared frozen locks. When an outer wall cracked, the dragon pressed its body against it, sealing it with strength and warmth. Stories spread beyond the outpost. A dragon did not kill. A dragon protected. A dragon listened to a human child. Other stations began to send messages. At first they were warnings. Then questions. Then requests. How do you control it? The elders answered honestly. We do not. That answer scared many. But it also fascinated them. Fear slowly gave way to awe across the sector. One night, alarms sounded again. Not from the dragon but from space. A hostile fleet entered the system. Old enemies. They had heard rumors of a dragon weapon and wanted it. The outpost trembled. The dragon rose for the first time since Eli had left the pit. Its full size was clear now. Massive. Powerful. Ancient. People panicked. Eli ran to the pit. They're scared, he said to the dragon. Can you help? The dragon looked at the sky. Then it spread its wings. The shields of the outpost flared bright. Stronger than ever before. Enemy weapons hit them and failed. The dragon did not breathe fire. It did not attack the ships. It only stood. The enemy fleet hesitated. Sensors showed something new. A signal spreading from the outpost. Not a weapon signal. A warning. This place is protected. The fleet turned away. When the danger passed, the dragon folded its wings and settled back down. The outpost was silent. Then cheers filled the halls. People cried. People laughed. Some knelt. Not in worship but in respect. Fear was gone now. In its place was awe. And something else. Gratitude. The elders gathered near the pit. One stepped forward and spoke clearly. We were wrong, he said. We offered a child in fear. We found a guardian in kindness. The dragon watched him closely. The elder bowed. The dragon did not bow back. But it stayed. And that was enough. The galaxy did not change in one day. It changed in small steps like a child learning to walk. News spread from the outpost to nearby systems, then farther, then everywhere. A dragon had spared humans. A human child had spoken and the dragon had listened. Many did not believe it at first. Other species watched from a distance. They sent drones. They sent quiet ships. They expected tricks or traps. They saw none. The dragon stayed at the outpost. It did not roam. It did not hunt. It did not burn cities. It simply lived beside humans. The station grew around it, slowly and carefully. New walls were built with space for its wings. New power lines followed the flow of its calm energy. Eli grew too. He still visited the pit, but not every day. He went to school. He played. He laughed. The dragon watched him with the same quiet attention. When Eli was sad, the station lights dimmed softly. When he was happy, they glowed warm. Scientists came from many worlds. They asked questions. They took notes. They argued. How did humans control it? They asked. The humans answered the same way every time. We didn't. This answer confused the galaxy. Other races believed power came from fear, from strength, from force. Humans showed something else. They showed care. They showed patience. They showed trust. Some aliens tried to copy humans. They brought food to wild beasts. They spoke softly. Many failed. A few learned the lesson too late. Kindness could not be fake. Beasts knew the difference. The dragon at the outpost was not a pet. It was not a weapon. It was a neighbor. One day a council formed. It included humans and non-humans. They met near the outpost. The dragon listened from its pit, eyes half closed. An elder from another race spoke. We feared humans. We thought them weak. A human woman replied, we feared you too. The elder nodded. But fear blinded us. The dragon lifted its head at that word. The council spoke for many hours. They talked about borders, about wars, about old stories filled with fire and blood. Slowly they spoke of a new idea. Coexistence. Not control. Not conquest. Just. The dragon stood then. It moved carefully so no one was hurt. It placed one claw on the ground near the council circle. The stone did not crack. The dragon was careful. This act was seen across the galaxy. A dragon choosing restraint. That image changed more minds than any speech. Eli stood beside his parents. He was older now but still small next to the dragon. He looked up and waved. The dragon lowered its head just a little. Trade routes changed. Old enemies paused their fights. Some conflicts ended not because of fear of dragons but because people asked new questions. What if we listened? Human diplomats became famous. Not for threats but for calm talks. When talks failed, they did not rush to war. They waited. They tried again. Other species called this strange. Humans called it normal. Years passed. The dragon did not age as humans did. Eli did. He became a young man. He studied history and care science. He wrote about the first meeting, but he never made himself the hero. It was never just me, he wrote. It was what humans choose to be when fear is not in control. The dragon listened when Eli read those words aloud. The station hummed softly. One day the dragon spoke. Not with words, but with images and feelings that touched every mind nearby. It showed memories, ancient skies, lost kin, long loneliness. Many cried. They understood then that the dragon had been afraid too. After that day, dragons were no longer called beasts in official records. They were called elders of fire, guardians of old paths. Not all dragons came forward. Many stayed hidden. That was respected. Humanity had learned a rule that the galaxy slowly accepted. No being owed trust, but all beings deserved the chance to earn it. Eli grew old. The dragon remained. When Eli could no longer walk to the pit, the dragon came closer to the medical wing. It lay down outside, its body forming a wall of warmth and safety. When Eli passed, the station lights dimmed for a full day. The dragon did not move. It did not roar. It simply stayed. The galaxy watched in silence. After that, a monument was built. Not of stone or metal but of shared space. A place where humans and others could meet without guards or weapons. Above it, simple words were written. Humanity is not defined by what it can destroy, but by what it chooses to protect. The dragon rested nearby, eyes open, watching the stars. And the galaxy, at last, understood what humans truly were.